All right. We are back. It is Wednesday. It is 6 p.m. And we are going to watch some videos. Took a break from playing Diablo 4 all week. Been having a good time doing that, though. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Redonk, looking at you, running you through stuff. It's Redonk's fault, having to take him through and help him level his character. Because bad. All right. Well, today we're going to take a look at an Andrew Tate video where he literally just incriminates himself. I don't know why you would ever do an interview with the BBC while awaiting trial. It's almost like you're just going to go ahead and do half the work for them. The audio on this is kind of a little bit on the worst side because this is the uncut video, as obviously the BBC video was taken and edited, and it doesn't give the full view of exactly everything that's going on. And we want to give, obviously, the best look at this video that we can. And this is a 38-minute video that, as I understand it, was taped by Andrew Tate and has been put up on a couple different YouTube channels. But we're gonna watch it, get an idea of what went on here, and we're gonna see what we think about this. So first of all, I want to just say, I hope that Andrew Tate is innocent. Not because I don't want him to be found innocent. I hope that he is innocent because obviously that means that a lot of women weren't sexually abused. And I'm 100% with, not hoping that the pilot crashes the plane. I sincerely hope that no one was abused, and I sincerely hope that if there is no crime, that he's found not guilty. However, it don't look good. It don't look good at all. And doing a interview right before the BBC, or I'm sorry, doing an interview with the BBC right before you go on trial just does not seem like the smartest thing to do. If I were a lawyer, and I'm not, I would not be recommending this. So, anyways, let's take a look at the video. You guys tell me what you think. I've watched about 2/3 of it. I haven't watched it all the way to the end, but it doesn't look good. I don't know who this guy's lawyer is, but they should have told him not to do this.
Andrew Tate.
Hello.
You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material is going to be published on television, on radio, online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media and the matrix as a whole are far more damaging than the things I say.
It's the concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the...
I think no matter how you spin it, whether you think that you're being positive or not, they think you're being negative, so therefore their concern is that you're being negative.
youth, and I understand that. But it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any...
Like, why would you do this? It's just fucking mind-boggling. Like, you're putting yourself on the stand before you go on the stand. I really seriously don't get what, like, the benefit of doing this is. This just seems like the height of idiocy. And this is a guy who wants to come off as being, like, incredibly intelligent. I do not understand this.
Any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. Firstly, let's begin let's start at the beginning. I'm facing charges. The first one you mentioned, the rape one's already been thrown out by a judge because there's no evidence of it. Secondly, it's very difficult for me to sit here and have a very frank and honest conversation with you while we're in the territory of Romania about a legal case that's going on within Romania. I have to protect myself. I've agreed.
Yeah, exactly. So why the fuck would you do it?
To do an interview with you, and I want to be as honest with you as possible, but I can't incriminate myself in any way, and I have to be very careful with what I talk about.
There are no charges yet.
Correct. There are no charges.
There
are no charges, and I've agreed to speak to you, but I have to be as honest and frank as I can, while also protecting myself and following my legal counsel.
So let's talk about what you've said yourself then. You have said on the website, for your original website for the Hustlers University, that you emotionally manipulated women to fall in love with you so that you could get them working in the sex industry for your financial gain.
As I said, I have to be very careful with what I say, but let's put it this way. No women are coming out against me and accusing me of doing it.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Who?
It's like having a fucking discussion with a child. Yes, she did. No, didn't. Yes, she did. No, I didn't. There's literally, so the text messages that are that she's talking about are specifically from apparently someone named Amelia. Now, whether or not that person's name is really that or not, comes from a relationship that they had with Andrew Tate, where Andrew Tate had been with this person for a certain amount of time, had a sexual relationship in which he allegedly sent text messages and voicemail messages where he said things along the line of how much he enjoyed assaulting her, how much he thought it was crazy that she was upset that he choked her, and he said, I didn't make you pass out. There's multiple messages that sound just like Andrew Tate, and that are allegedly from phone numbers that he possesses that came from him, that this woman has went to the police. Now, she went to the police. There was also another 2 to 4 other girls at the time that had made complaints about Andrew Tate. The police contacted her after she made her initial complaint. It said, would you like to be part of this investigation? She then became part of the investigation, and then you had 2 to 4 plus this Amelia person that then the investigation was starting the process of looking into Andrew Tate's background. Now, after about 4 years, this was turned over to the CPS, the Crown Police in Romania, and that information led to the prosecution deciding not to pursue charges. So the thing about that is the women that were involved in it chose to complain that it was actually mishandled as a case, and the police now have, reopened the case or continued the investigation, and that's obviously where Andrew Tate was then arrested, along with his brother Tristan and 2 other people, and I'm not even sure that the 2 other people are out on bond right now, but I know that Andrew Tate was released, but he just got put on another 30 days of house arrest as they are continuing the investigation. So acting as though this person didn't make any complaints is kind of a little suspect just to start with.
There's testimony from the current investigation.
The current investigation, which I cannot discuss, which I know intimately and you don't, I can tell you right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. So if you know these things, but you can't discuss these things, why are you doing an interview?
That the women who are in this case file, there are 2 American women who have been caught already admitting they're lying, and then nobody else is accusing me of anything.
To begin with, it's very common in cases like this that the alleged victims do not always see themselves as victims.
Well, that's very interesting. It's actually extremely interesting, because if I was a matrix-controlled organization and my goal was to slander somebody and try and destroy their name,
so 3 minutes in, we're already out of reality. A matrix-controlled. Like, the BBC lady asked you if you wanted to do an interview, you agreed to it. So then you're matrix-controlled.
telling me that they've chosen a crime, which 1 is heinous, of course, because it damages the person's credibility, and 2, you're saying that even if everyone else involved, if you have 5 people and everyone's sitting there saying, no, nobody's hurt anybody, we like Andrew, we've all worked together, we're friends, etc.
That's not what everybody's saying.
No.
Let me read you.
He's like, I read my Twitter comments, and they're actually really positive. Like, no shit, Sherlock. He's got a few emails. The people around me that like me, that participate in the same life as me, they all enjoy my presence. Therefore, that's evidence that there's no way that I could have done bad shit.
You some of the testimony from the current investigation.
Can I finish this?
One of the witnesses said...
Can I finish this?
You're not answering the question I've asked you. You're not answering the question I've asked you.
I am answering the question.
Let me read you the testimony of one of the witnesses.
You're saying the people who are involved in this, even if they say they're not victims, that they're still going to try and attack me and pretend they're victims.
They are treated as victims by the case that's ongoing. And not all of them are saying that. One of the witnesses says...
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe. And even those that are, it doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution by the case.
And what she's trying to say here is even the people that are not complaining about their treatment through him are still in some way considered victims because he is defrauding them. The very idea of manipulation, I watched a lawyer actually talk on this about how manipulating a person to believe that you're going to marry them or enter a relationship with them to then use them to make money off of in a webcam business is actually fraud. So it doesn't matter whether or not they're complaining or not. Doesn't matter whether or not they're complaining or not. It only matters that they actually
one of the witnesses says
have been a part of a case that involves fraud. So it doesn't matter if they've complained, they're in some way part of the case.
We can't go into the case. The case is open and active.
Yes,
well, let's just be clear that not all of the witnesses in the case are behaving in the way you describe, and even those that are...
Also, Andrew, you're going bald, bro. Just, let it go, dude. Let it go. Cut it off, bro. It's not worth hanging on to. It's just hair.
It doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately.
What did he say? I'm absolutely not really sure.
It doesn't bar them from being treated as victims by the prosecution by the case.
We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not really, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is...
Yeah, because why would you say anything different? I mean, you're dumb enough to do an interview right before the trial, so maybe I'm giving you too much credit. Why would you say anything other than, I absolutely didn't do this? You're just supposed to take that at face value?
It's completely and utterly fabricated, and I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth question.
He said, I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. But he just said 2 seconds ago, I'm absolutely not really sure that I won't be found guilty. I do not understand this.
Questions, because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself because you're trying to prod me. You are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that for now and talk about something else.
You are wrong, and we are going to have to accept it. This is a dude that is being accused of manipulating women, telling a woman, you are wrong, and we're going to have to accept that.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
Okay, we're going to pause it right here because we want to go ahead. I'd like to add into to the court evidence A. So let's just let's go ahead and hear Andrew Tate talk about it. Let's listen to Andrew Tate.
You cannot get a girl to work for you haven't fucked. So the recruitment process is the same as the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. The PhD course is my recruitment system. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore.
Oh, that's probably good advice. Don't tell the girl you're on a date with that you're going to turn her into a cam girl. Yeah, dude, you think? Because of course they're going to fucking say no. Because they don't want to be cam girls.
It's just not going to work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl.
After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy, you're always at work, you can come work for me. So, as I said, you cannot try and approach girls to do webcam. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work. No one's going to say yes. And any girl who does say yes is doing it. She doesn't like you. She doesn't know you. She doesn't love you. She's saying yes purely for money. I'm going to sneeze. And any girl who wants money that bad is going to skank you and leave you when she realizes you get a big cut of it. So even if you do get a girl to say yes that way, even if you do say to a girl, look, let's make some money, she's only in it for the money. She's not in it to please you. And if she's only in it for the money, she's going to get pissed off with her cut. Because they're going to Google up how much a token's worth, how many tokens they made, and all that shit. They're going to get pissed off with their cut. Remember the tax thing, so you only have to pay them 30% instead of 50%. It's important for your profitability. So you don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. So you meet a girl, you take her on dates, you fuck her, whatever. She passes the PhD test. Then you start saying things like, oh yeah, but you're always working. I have to do some traveling and you can't come. I want to bring you with me. Traveling is a great one because the thing about this business is mobile. If you can find a good Airbnb with good internet, you can run it somewhere else. So it's a good little caveat to throw in. Oh, and you're always working. Why don't you work for me so we spend more time together? Work for you doing what? So I'll have a webcam business. Oh, I don't want to do that. So okay, I know you don't want to do that, but listen. Come, let's have a meeting. Let's just talk about it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Fine. But let me explain it to you properly. In fact, I'll bring one of the girls who works for me. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this and I make so much money, and the guys all love me and they adore me, and on my birthday they send me presents, and I get so much money, blah, 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 and it's so much fun, and we stay at home, and da-da-da-da, and we're gonna go to Thailand soon, and we're gonna be working in Thailand, and we're gonna stay there for as long as we want, you should come with us, it's gonna be so much fun, da-da-da-da, martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both, your bottom bitch knows, this girl's like, okay, well I'll...
Bang! Threesome. Jesus Christ, this guy's a piece of shit. He's literally referring to one of the women as his bottom bitch. Like, who is dumb enough to make videos like this? You are literally incriminating yourself. This is fucking pure manipulation.
I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka. Put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot. The guys will send loads of money to get the girls drunk, because guys like drunk girls. Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls. You do not recruit girls any other way.
That's how you recruit girls. So, what were you just saying a second ago there, Andrew? Let's hear that one more time from Andrew Tate.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what you said.
I think that's what he personally said. It sounds as though that's exactly what he just fucking said, unless fucking deep fake AI technology has gotten so amazing that they could fucking impersonate his douchebaggery to a fucking degree that is untouchable by anything else in life.
That's no, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it. And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges. It's actually very interesting that me, one of the most famous people in the world, who's been vilified by the legacy media and places all over the internet, while everyone has attacked me from every single angle, while federal agencies from multiple countries have called over 2,000 women who know me, we stand here with 0 new accusations since my arrest. 0. If you took any famous person, any man of substantial wealth.
Okay, but we're not allowed to talk about it. Remember, we're not allowed to talk about it. So, if this isn't part of the case, if this is part of the case, why are you talking about it? I don't think it's part of the case because probably other people have actually complained and created accusations against him.
And you called 2,000 women who knew him. He'd find an ex-girlfriend is upset, somebody who wants money who's upset. They called 2,000 people who knew me and could not find a single woman to make a new complaint. The only complaints they have against me are the initial complaints, which we can prove are lies, and that's where it stands. So I'm not going to sit.
Okay, so what you just said, to make sense of this, is that if you were to look into the background of any other man and you were to call 2,000 people of them that they knew, that you would definitely find some form of human trafficking in their history. That's not fucking true at all. Like, the majority of people you meet in your life, if you call 2,000 people they know, you're not going to find human trafficking. Just Andrew Tate. And anybody Andrew Tate knows, apparently.
Here and allow you to pretend that I'm some kind of evil predator, when actually I'd argue the fact that people...
We just watched the video where you talked about being an evil predator. It was your words. You literally sold that to people. You fucking made money by telling people to do the evil predator shit that you do.
Who've been investigated to the level I've been investigated to. If you were to take the average man on the street and investigate his entire life for 14 months, call everyone who's ever known him, and vilify him in the media, and encourage people to come forward for money, and you try to contact every ex-girlfriend he's ever had.
Would come forward.
You can go ahead and do that with me. The worst thing you're going to find out about me is I spend time down in my basement making YouTube videos. What's happening, James? What's happening, Tamara? Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Forward and accuse those people of rape and accuse those
I
people
think that
of
you would have a lot more. I think you would have a lot more flack than I've got. I'm actually such a nice person.
No, you wouldn't. Like, literally. No, you wouldn't. You're being accused of human trafficking and sexual assault and multiple other things. No one else. You can look into the backgrounds of the majority of the city I live in, and you're not going to find people that should be prosecuted for those charges, hopefully.
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior...
Is this Sophie?
Everything
is this Sophie? Oh, Sophie, the fake name, no face, the story that was...
Did you guys notice how he's practically Donald Trump? He is like... him and Donald Trump, like, if you put them... We should mash up Donald Trump and Andrew Tate talking in an interview with somebody who's being combative. They're literally the same person. Oh, Sophie. Yeah, Sophie, who doesn't exist, that you made up. Like, that's literally out of Donald Trump's playbook. Or maybe it was out of Andrew Tate's playbook and Donald Trump stole it from him. But either way, these are like the same fucking people. They know they're in trouble. They know they did some shit wrong. And so they just deny. That person doesn't even exist. That person, all these things are made up by the Matrix, by the legacy media. I'll use all the keywords. So that way the people that support me will know that I'm using the correct words for them to get angry about. It's literally Donald Trump.
Wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy, that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime? This imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is...
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you...
Okay, she's either real and not accusing you of a crime, or not real but accusing you of a crime. Which one do you want? I don't know which one you want here. You're confusing me.
Question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
You're not the boss here. You're not my father. Ah, Jesus Christ. He said, you're not the boss here. What a weird dude. He is simply just a very strange individual. Let's go back.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime, this imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is...
Has she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the question.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as legacy media, giving...
No, she literally comes as the person who's interviewing you because you're a fucking idiot and you agreed to do an interview with the BBC right before you go to trial. I just can't wrap my mind around this stupidity.
you relevance by speaking to you. And I'm telling you now, this Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The BBC did not invent.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she is not.
Like, okay, that which is shown without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Like, you can't say that they've invented something unless you're going to somehow qualify that with evidence that they invented something, and then say, well, they've invented stuff, so obviously what she's saying isn't true. That's not a workable ploy. You can't do that. In fact, it's kind of actually manipulation.
She's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
Talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage. She has not filed criminal. This person.
He's like, look, whether I did it or not, this specific made-up person did not file charges against me that I know of. Therefore, toss it.
If they exist, has not filed criminal charges against me. I welcome anybody who believes I've harmed them, male or female, any point in the past, to file criminal charges against me, and I will fight them. I know who I am, and I know what I've done, and I know the truth, and I know that I'll be found innocent of this attack. The reason I'm being attacked is because of my massive influence.
He literally said at the beginning of this video, I do not know whether or not I will actually get off of this. Like, get off from this. Like, he said he may be found guilty, but he said since then at least 3 times he's probably going to get off. So which one is it? He's so fucking...
It's not because I've ever hurt anybody. And for you to sit here and say that everybody around you is saying you're innocent, but that doesn't matter because the state will say they're victims and they're just going to grab everybody you know and call everybody victims, even if they say they're not, and try and put you in jail. You are describing a matrix attack. You're not describing human trafficking.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
We will see what women go. We will see what women go to court at the end of this trial. We'll see which women go to court.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah, literally what she's saying is that there are women that are pressing charges. The other women that are part of the cam business who are manipulated into being in the cam business are practically evidence. They're just literally people that have been manipulated in a way that you still have control over them. That's what she's saying.
We'll see which women go to court.
I'm describing...
It's kind of like all the QAnon people for Trump. Like I said, there's a lot of parallels to be drawn here.
Women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking.
Sophie hasn't gone to court. Sophie doesn't exist.
And I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length.
Sophie doesn't exist.
And other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion. And I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe...
They're not my words.
Coercion.
They're
literally his words. We watched the video. Literally his words.
Words you found. They're words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's move on to the next
in
subject.
Your voice.
Move on to the next.
It's like the best defense of all time. They just don't exist. I'd never met her. Never seen her in my life. Don't know who that is. Like, him and Donald Trump could be the same person. Has anybody ever seen Andrew Tate and Donald Trump in the same room at the same time? I don't think so. They both might have been at Epstein's Island at the same time.
Next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. Convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you.
Once
That's
again,
coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
what you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should be
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
So he literally took down this website. He's like, it doesn't exist anymore. What can I say? But the internet is forever, Andrew Tate. The internet is forever. What the fuck were you thinking? He's like the worst criminal of all time. Jesus Christ, like Chapo is like, he would like lose his fucking mind if the BBC wanted to do a fucking interview with him. I don't know. Did he do one? Someone's gonna probably pull one out. I don't think he would. I don't think any fucking criminal would ever do an interview with the BBC before they go on trial. Even if you thought you were innocent, even if you knew you were innocent, you still wouldn't do this. And no lawyer ever should tell you it's a good idea to do this. This is mind-boggling. He's saying we'll see which ones don't disappear. That's probably a good point, James. That's actually probably a solid point. Maybe he knows that some of those people ain't going to make it.
Check my website. Next.
He's on.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why.
He's like a giant child. Why do people follow this guy? There are so many better men to look up to. Jesus Christ. Keanu Reeves, please save us. Keanu, create like a school, a system, something for young men. Because they're obviously digging deep down in the bottom of the fucking well for the worst possible male role model they could find if this is all they got.
Those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same. It's been the same for a very long time.
The comments on this website, on the original website, have been taken down, and I wonder why.
You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that.
I think she's saying all those things. I think she's saying there's evidence that you yourself has put on the internet to represent yourself in your business ventures that would definitely prove that you were guilty of all of those things. Do I remember Trump said he didn't know that guy standing next to him at the party with whom he was chatting up? Yeah, you know, it's a solid Trump defense. It works with his followers. This guy's using the same exact defense. All the people that love me say that I'm innocent. No fucking shit, Sherlock. I bet they are, because they are all making money from you. They're all grifting just like you are. There's no fucking way they want you to go to jail. They want you right where you are, helping them make money.
You have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
And I'm asking you about that.
Absolutely not is the answer. I look forward to the end of this trial. I look forward to clearing my name. I look forward to the BBC and the legacy media having to say not guilty and having to tell the truth. As I've said before, the only other person who's been found, despite absolute rigorous, destructive levels of investigation and prodding into my life, is this imaginary Sophie by the BBC who doesn't exist. And if you were to find any single other man on earth and try and analyze...
It's the E. Jean Carroll defense, man. Never saw her in my life. Never met her. Yeah, is that a picture of me with her? Yeah. I still don't know her. Think that's my wife. That was like the best part, was when he accidentally thought that E. Jean Carroll was his wife. Oh, somebody show this guy a picture of Sophie.
Analyze his life forensically to the level they've done mine, you would find genuine damage to people. I don't hurt people.
It's not just...
I think it's just telling even that he thinks that any other man that you look at you'd find these things in their past. I think that speaks to his insecurities. I think he knows that he does bad shit, and so he's saying that if you look into anybody else's past, that yes, you'd find a bunch of bad shit too. No, not human trafficking. No, that's only you, bro. Allegedly.
Thousands of women have come out in my defense. Thousands of women have come out in my defense, and you've not mentioned that. Thousands of women come out in my defense.
Because the problem is when women accuse you of serious crimes.
Okay,
and emotional
but
manipulation.
let's agree that
That's
thousands
the
of
problem.
women...
Thousands of people think that Donald Trump won the election. Hundreds of thousands of people think that Donald Trump won the election. He didn't. He didn't. There's thousands of people that think Donald Trump is literally still the president. There's thousands of people that think Joe Biden is really being played by James Woods. Thousands of people. No, it doesn't matter if the people that follow you and love you and fucking pay money to you think that you're innocent. That does not mean that you're innocent.
Let's agree that
It's not the problem that some people say you haven't done it. It's a problem that some people say you have.
Thousands of women come out in my defense, and as we stand right now, we have an open criminal investigation. The people who are involved in the criminal investigation are saying that we're not victims of anything. Andrew's fine, he's never hurt us. You're saying, no, I have the opposite to that. I have to counter that.
Like, literally what she's saying is not all of them are saying that. And the ones that are saying it are people that you manipulated into saying that.
Someone called Sophie with no face, a fake name, who we've invented, and she's not accusing you of anything criminal. So I don't see the whole point you're trying to make here.
You say you manipulate women, they say you manipulate women. Why wouldn't people think you do?
I'm not here. Do you think I'm manipulating you?
I'm asking you about the testimony.
I probably would if I was her. I'd been like, yep. Character witness does Trump physical evidence. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, he used Trump in that sense, and it threw me off. Yeah, it doesn't trump physical evidence. Exactly. You can't just say, that's like me and my buddy going out in the street and me punching some dude, and he gets knocked out on the side of the curb. He calls the police come, and they go, hey, so we think you assaulted this guy. This guy says you assaulted him. I'm like, my buddy here says, no. And the guy's like fucking bleeding out of his mouth sitting on the curb. The cops aren't just going to be like, well, his buddy said he was a good dude and let me leave. They're going to investigate the fucking incident. At the least, they're going to investigate it. They're most likely going to arrest me because that's what they're supposed to do. You don't just go, yeah, these people that really like me, you know, I'm a popular figure that's literally grifted millions of dollars from people. All those people that I grift from, yeah, they fucking love me. They say that I didn't do it, so you should let me go. That makes no fucking sense.
You've given on your website and the testimony women have given
You've
about
printed
you.
something off that you found on Reddit, and you're going to sit here and say that makes me a bad person. And I'm saying that you should know
That you found on Reddit. If she found that on Reddit, I'm going to laugh so hard. Journalism has gotten pretty bad. It has. I would not be surprised that she found that on Reddit. However, we just watched the video where he said those exact things. So I don't know what to tell him. He definitely fucking said those things.
know better as a journalist and do some proper journalism. Let's investigate the fact that
I
thousands...
think you should answer my questions
I am.
properly.
I already have, and we should move on. She's just trying to start an argument.
It's not.
He's a child. He's such a child. I already have. We should just move on. Dude, I don't know. Maybe he might be a bigger child than Trump is.
Only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive. In fact, if you were to read the comment section of nearly any video I post, especially by the legacy media, 95% of the population agree with me. Most people know that the things I say are positive. Legacy media as a whole has lost all its credibility in the last 3 to 4 years. Nobody believes it. And
Like, if we wanted to sit here and just watch Andrew Tate videos, you can Google or you can just YouTube Andrew Tate, just like his worst takes. It's fucking horrific, the shit he says. You can't act like everything you've said is positive. This is the problem with the red pill thing. The red pill thing has like this great like kind of foundation, much like mini grifts do. It has this great foundation of getting young men to be better at socializing with women and getting fit through exercise and helping their mental health and establishing themselves in their careers and professionally. All of those things we agree with. All of those things are great things that all young people, not just men, but young women as well, should do. The problem is that the people that are behind the grift on the red pill side do not in any way actually support the things they say. They do not in any way actually role model any of the things that they say. The things that they actually do is they go out and start cam businesses, or they fucking charge you $50 when they call you an idiot behind the scenes. We'll look at those here. Let's just look at those text messages now. Let's just go ahead and look at it now. Here you go. These are text messages. This is actually the evidence that is in the case. This is a lawyer going over the evidence in the case where he talks about he is Andrew Tate. It says this is a conversation between him and a young woman that he's currently trying to manipulate to get to become a webcam girl. He says to her, "Men started to be jealous and started asking me how I can start a video chat business. They will never do this because they are losers, but they like the idea. So I started charging men to teach them." That's what those videos are about. It's all a cover, you understand. Yeah, that's what he thinks about you. You're a loser, and you'll never actually do the things that he told you. That's what he thinks. And he charged you $50 a month to do that. If you follow this dude, you've lost your fucking mind. He doesn't just say positive things.
And it's a shame, it's a massive shame that the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person.
I'm
anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any, I'm anti-drugs, I'm anti-violence.
He's anti-drugs. Let's watch him talk about drugs.
So when I was 24, 25, I sold drugs. Long time ago now. I can be honest and open about my past. I was a fighter, but fighting wasn't paying the bills, sold drugs, whatever. So I'm selling drugs. I didn't really like selling drugs. I didn't like the anxiety. I didn't like the idea of getting caught. I didn't like the violence, the stabbing. Someone tried to stab me. So when I was 24, 25, I sold drugs.
One more time.
Long time ago now.
Long time ago. So what was he saying? What was he just talking about a second ago?
And the BBC come here and try and push and purport this idea that I'm a dangerous person.
I'm
anti-drugs. I've never pushed drugs or any. I'm anti.
He's anti-drugs, folks. He's anti-drugs. Obviously, that wasn't him talking once again. That was somebody else that looks like Andrew Tate and sounds like Andrew Tate and videotaped himself as Andrew Tate doing that. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. He's a horrible human being. He's a poster child for why women no longer find dating necessary. Exactly. Sherry, he's part of the problem. He's literally part of the problem, and that's the problem with this red pill shit, is that they're actually kind of causing a looping feed of bullshit. They're actually creating the very problem that they talk about and say that they're trying to solve. And in the end, what they're actually doing is creating more customers.
Drugs, I'm anti-violence. The UK is facing a knife crime epidemic, and they're going to sit here and say that I'm the most dangerous man in the UK.
You have said you're the most dangerous man in the world.
I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world.
You've also said that a woman's...
He actually literally said that in a text message. I didn't have the text message up, but he said to the girl that he had slept with, had choked, had forcibly assaulted, I'm the most dangerous man in the world. That's a threat. That's a literal threat. Why would you say that to a woman that was making a complaint about you to the police other than to make a threat?
Intimate parts belong to her male partner. I'm glad you find that funny.
I find it funny that you're sitting here saying that I've said I'm the most dangerous man in the world, and you believe that's... When did I say that?
I'm asking if you believe it.
No, you said you're the most dangerous man in the world. Is that some kind of proof that I'm dangerous? Am I Dr. Evil now? I'm telling you that it's very upsetting.
If you watch his leg bouncing and stuff too, you can see he's getting worked up. And because he might finally be realizing that he's a fucking idiot for doing this interview. Why would you ever do this interview before your trial?
That you're going to sit here and that certain organizations in the world are going to try and pretend that I'm the biggest force of evil on earth when I'm genuinely a force for good. I'm genuinely a force for good.
Don't worry, guys. He said it. So you should believe it. He's genuinely a force for good. Forget all the evidence. Forget the videos that he made where he said the exact opposite of that. He's now saying that he's genuinely a force for good. So we should just believe him.
The reason they're doing this is because of the massive influence I have over the youth, and they don't like that I'm telling the youth to think outside of the matrix and ignore things like the BBC, which come here with loaded questions and false narratives and try and paint innocent people as guilty.
You said women's intimate parts belong to their male partner.
I said that if a woman marries a man, she takes his last name and traditionally the man gives her away. I've been pushing traditional religious beliefs because I'm a religious man, and traditional beliefs.
Yeah, there's lots of traditional religious beliefs in starting cam businesses and selling drugs. Definitely traditional religious beliefs.
In regards to marriage, which everybody accepted 10 to 15 years ago.
So
that's not a crazy conspiracy theory. If you're going to sit here and say that me believing a woman should take a man's last name in marriage makes me the most dangerous man in the world, then you're just going to lose even more credibility than the BBC's already lost in the last 4 to 5 years. If that's your point, if that's your narrative you want to push,
say that
good
men
luck.
should be able to sleep with a lot of women outside.
So what he's doing here is he's refusing to answer the actual question, and instead he's attacking the person. So as long as he continues to attack the person, a la Trump, he doesn't have to answer the question. He just gets to deflect. You know, I don't know who she is. You guys are shit. You're part of the Matrix. Let me use a bunch of fucking keywords. He's literally just deflecting from answering the question.
Marriage, that doesn't sound very religious or very conservative.
That's not what I said they should be able to. I said a lot of high-value men, a lot of rich men do it. And then we discussed at length on podcasts why rich men do it. And we also discussed why women decide to be unfaithful. It's not a gendered argument. We discuss unfaithfulness as a whole. What are the reasons and motivations for men? What are the reasons and motivations for women? Because you have no time to actually, watch my content. Because you have no time to actually watch my content at length.
He seems butthurt that she don't watch his content. I think this is the most his feelings have been hurt the entire time. Is he's like, you didn't watch my stuff, okay? There's no way nobody can watch your stuff, bro. Like, it's mind melting to sit here and watch these men talk about the things that they talk. Like, I try to make videos. I literally haven't made a video in 2 weeks and posted it because I tried to make a video on the red pill and it fucking melted my brain. I can't do it. It just literally drove me to a point of depression and sadness that I didn't want to make another video. I'm still recovering.
And understand what I'm saying. You just come here with a small snippet which has been provided to you on a piece of paper.
Saying it 3 times doesn't make it true.
No, completely. You don't have a clue what I say or what I talk about. You never watch my content. You have small pieces of paper, small clips on a piece of paper, and you're trying to pretend I've said evil things. And then you're going to say I'm the most dangerous man in the world, which is truly laughable.
You said that, not me.
Okay. Do you believe I'm the most dangerous man in the world, Lucy?
I'm not answering your questions.
Well, then we need to change the dynamic of this interview because, and I'll make this clear, I allowed you into my home. I'm doing you a favor, giving you the first interview I'm giving to the
Dude, like, the very thing he's doing right now is manipulative. Like, he's literally trying to manipulate her into, you know, being a little softer, asking more softball questions. You need to do what I tell you to do. I'm the one that let you in here. I provided you with this service. Therefore, you owe me this. No, she's here to interview you because you're on trial for sexual trafficking and assault. She's not there to be your friend or make you look good. What the fuck did you think she was going to do?
public. You don't come here with a position of authority. You're not the police. I don't respect the BBC. I don't know you. You do not come here with a position of authority over me. We are equals. We are people. We're citizens of the world, and we sit here as equals. And I see you as my equal, and if you ask me questions, I can ask you questions back. For you to come here and sit down and pretend you're the Gestapo and that you don't have to answer my questions is disingenuous because I don't owe you anything.
She's the Gestapo. Come on, bro. The Gestapo? Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're 16, Toss, man. There's much better people to look up to. There's a ton of them. I read about lots of historical figures, lots of important people. Andrew Tate is not important. Andrew Tate is a person that is grifting off of young men's issues and taking money and creating the problem that he is telling you that he's fixing. It really is sad. I hope that for you can recognize that. And growing up, I grew up without a father. I grew up without many male figures in my life. And I can tell you this. Some things come later in life, man. Some things come later. You know, when you don't have a male figure in your life, when you don't have positive male role models, that doesn't mean that you won't reach your potential. It just means that you got to work a little harder. You got to try a little more. But the one thing that you need to make sure that you don't do is that you do not follow a false prophet. And that dude is 100% a false prophet.
Asking questions and you answer.
But I don't owe, no,
however you want.
This is a conversation. And I don't owe you any degree of authority over me. So let's make that clear. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or from the BBC or the CNN. I'm here to answer your questions and be honest with you and do you a favor.
Great.
And I'm doing you a favor. But you come here with loaded questions. You're trying to paint a narrative of me which is negative.
I'm asking you about things you've said that people are concerned about.
And that's fine. But you're not going to sit here and say you don't answer my questions because you're not above me.
This is also not supposed to be a third degree. It's supposed to be a conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, it would help if you answered the question.
I've answered every question so far.
Let me ask you another question.
Sure.
You have said...
That's a Donald Trump answer right there. I've answered every question. No, you haven't, dude. Come on, man. Like, why did you choose to do this if this is how you're going to act? Someone doesn't buy their line of bullshit, they get mad at them. That's how it goes. And that's exactly what you're seeing here. He's becoming extremely defensive. And the reason he's becoming extremely defensive is because she's not just tossing him softballs. It's the exact same shit that happens with Donald Trump. If you watch Donald Trump talk to an interviewer that likes him, yeah, he's cordial. He just like gives his spiel. He never shuts the fuck up. He just talks and talks and talks. But when you see him get interviewed by somebody that isn't his buddy, he gets defensive, he gets angry, he insults the person, and he never answers a question. This is straight out of the Donald Trump playbook.
that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner, and if she goes on OnlyFans, he is entitled to a cut of her income.
You are extremely, it's very confusing to me why you're going to sit here, take long.
Dude, he almost did a Donald Trump there. I was waiting for him to say, "You are a nasty woman." That's like literally what Donald Trump would do, and you could see it on his face. He wanted to, you are extremely, can't say that right now, hold on 1 second. And if he wasn't under investigation right now, he probably would have said it. Because if you look at his other videos, he full on says insulting shit to women all the time with no problem. He doesn't need provocation even. He just goes ahead and spills the bullshit out of his face right on top of him. She's a woman and he doesn't like that she's asking questions. He's showing what he's denying. Yeah, he'll call her there you go, Sherry. Exactly. She is, by just being there and answering or asking these questions, actually showing exactly who he is as a person. She's showing his manipulation. She's showing his insecurity. He's literally outing himself, and I still cannot figure out why he would ever agree to do this. And the only thing I can think of is he's a fucking moron.
Long format podcasts I've done, which are 3 or 4 hours long, in context where I've sat with OnlyFans girls, 10 or 15 OnlyFans girls, where we've been joking back and forth, ignore every comment and satirical comment and sarcastic comment that the females have made, and then come along and say, you said this, and you're the most evil man in the world.
Awesome. We've gone to the I was just joking defense. Excellent. That's like, I mean, what, 10-year-old, 11-year-old? I was just joking. Yeah, dude, sure you were. That's why you literally were selling this shit to people. We watched a video that you charge people $50 a month to watch, so you were just joking. No big deal. Just let it go. He's fine.
I don't know if you understand what sarcasm
Did you
is.
say it?
I don't know if you understand what sarcasm is. I don't know if you understand what context is. I don't know if you understand what satirical content
So you're
comments
saying it was
are.
sarcastic?
I'm saying it was a very interesting talk show. And for you to sit here and say that that is my true core beliefs and that makes me a bad person is disingenuous.
Is it?
Of course not.
Was it sarcasm?
Absolutely. You should watch the show.
You were being sarcastic
You should-
when you said... Let me
you
just
should-
clarify,
you should
okay?
watch the show.
Let me clarify for the audience. You were being sarcastic when you said a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner.
No.
You didn't believe that.
No, it's not that. It's that
He just really wants her to watch his content. Just watch the episode. You should watch it. It's really good. I don't think she's going to like it, Andrew.
you haven't watched the show at length, and you should have, because the woman was saying, my man's car belongs to me because he's my man. And she was on OnlyFans. And then 20 minutes later, when she said she was on OnlyFans, I said, well, you're selling your body, that belongs to him because he's your man. And she laughed,
Do you believe it?
she laughed, and she said, yeah, that's probably true. If
Do
you
you
watch the
believe it?
show, it will make sense. For you to come here with doing no research at all, and then say, I don't understand what I'm talking about, but I've got this piece of paper with a few...
Sounds a lot like read the transcripts. Just read the transcripts. You just got to read the transcripts. Watch the show. All you have to do is watch the show. He knows she's never going to fucking watch his show. That's not going to happen, dude. And if she does watch the show, then you're just going to go, oh, you're taking it out of context. And you say that girl laughed. She probably laughed at you, bro. She probably laughed at how fucking absurd you are.
things printed off. That's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show. Do some research.
Do you believe it?
You already answered
I've
that.
already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I have.
Can
Can we move on? I've answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
You just answered that. You said exactly that.
We've done that 3 times.
And
Look at him. Look at his body language. Look at him right now. Legs shaking.
that's why you're saying the silly things you're saying. You should watch the show. Do some research.
Do you believe it?
You already answered
I've
that.
already answered the question.
Not really.
Of course I
You
have.
said- you said that's
Can we
not
move on?
enough.
I've answered the question.
Do you believe that a woman's intimate parts belong to her male partner?
Of course not. I've just answered the question.
You just answered that. You said exactly
Look
that.
at him right now. Look at that.
And does this woman believe that her man's car belongs to her? It's
Okay, you just said you don't believe that, and then you tried to qualify it. You tried to qualify it by saying, but doesn't the woman think that the man's car belongs to her? So you either believe it or you don't. You wouldn't try to qualify something if you didn't believe it. But you just tried to qualify it with a quote on the way out of the conversation. Well, doesn't she think that her man's car belongs to her? That's so dumb. Guy is weak. Insecurity at the core is this man's being. 100%, Lily. 100% insecurity. Like, that's like, this person literally knows that he can grift money from other men because of the fact that he's so insecure, he knows what he would want, and so he just gets other people to purchase it. He just made it to the top of the pile faster. That's all it was. He was the one person that was willing to do this. The one person that was so fucking immoral that they'd take advantage of people that are just like them. That's crazy. Guy is weak. Anger is a weak man's response. Yeah, 100%, Michelle. Full verbal insults pretty soon. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. That's what I'm saying. I am waiting for the full Donald Trump, you're a nasty woman comment. Like, you're just waiting for this shit to happen.
It's not a gendered argument. I really think that it's genuinely sad that when the BBC has a chance to finally interview me at the end of all this Matrix attack, that they don't come here with any kind of genuine openness to try and understand my influence over the world, or the things I push, or what I'm trying to teach the world, or why I'm a good influence on the world, because I am a massively good.
Did he really think they were going to come here and be like, I don't know, do some kind of like documentary on him? What did he think they were coming there for? He is delusional. This is insane.
Influence. Instead, they come here with pieces of paper with printed out excerpts from 5-year-old podcasts, taken out of context, to attempt the same Matrix attack on me, which has been attempted endlessly. Every single person in Legacy Media has already tried this, and it doesn't work. I really encourage you. I encourage you to read the comment section on YouTube when this goes on YouTube, and you will see that nobody believes a word you're saying.
Yeah. Read the comment section. Jesus Christ, is that where we're at? Is that where we're at, folks? My innocence will be proven in the YouTube comment section. Jesus Christ.
The reason we're asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like
absolute
this.
Garbage.
National organisations who are saying that, are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed.
If that was
by
true,
pupils, because of you and your teaching,
well,
that's
absolute garbage. I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher.
This is the bullshit I call out on the red pill. 100% call us out on the red pill. They say, well, we've never said that people should assault a woman, or we've never encouraged this. But you don't, and I actually, no, I'm not going to say you don't understand, because you do fucking understand. You know what you're doing. And once again, this is very Trump. This is indirect language that leads to direct action. You say things that encourage young men to feel more and more victimized, which leads them to anger. And when they express that anger, you say, how is that my fault? If you look at the comment section, if you look at the actual stuff that's being said in these chats, these people are encouraging people to demonize and to look down upon women. And even if they're not outwardly saying exactly to do that, they're encouraging it through the things that they teach, and they do not speak up when the people that follow them say that they are going to do these things. So if you are so much against it, then you should go out of your way to make sure that everybody fucking knows that that is not what you're saying, and that is not what you want people to do. And anybody that does that, you are going to disavow. I have nothing to do with those people. I will never have anything to do with those people. Fuck that. That's not for me. I don't appreciate that. In my own comments, in my own videos, when I have had people that have threatened violence or have gone out of their way to say things that I felt were discouraging in the way of being pedophilia or assault, when anything like that happens, I make sure to block those comments, because you can't have people running around demonizing and looking down upon women that are following you and then expect anybody else to think that that's not what you support. That's stupid.
Male or female ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against. I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me, with no criminal record, never even yet charged in this 14-month Matrix investigation.
No criminal record. But I did sell drugs. I did work with casinos. I did start a cam business. Remember, these are all traditional religious values, right? And I am currently under investigation for human sex trafficking and assault. But hey, don't worry, guys. He doesn't have a record. He's a good person.
And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and some emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof.
And this is that bullshit. Go ahead. Once again, establish all the values that we're all going to agree on. Go ahead. For sure, we all agree on all those things. But you don't role model those things. You did sell drugs. You made your money off of cam business. You literally said at one point or another in a video that you didn't make enough money as a fighter, so you started selling drugs and started working with casinos. No, dude. You don't represent the very values that you claim to say that you are role modeling for young people. That's bullshit. There's plenty of men that do. You don't.
Violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago. Is disingenuous. It's disingenuous. And also,
financial success
correct.
With a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
Because it's all mixed together in what you teach. You teach that if a woman comes home and accuses you of cheating, you should hit her with a machete, shove her off.
Is that what I teach?
That's what you say.
No, if you actually watch the clip, it will be about the woman attacking me with a machete. As usual, you've not watched the video, taken it out of context, flipped it, and attempted to attack me with a small excerpt. Let me tell you something, Lucy. I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm sure you're a fantastic person. But if I were to take everything you've ever said,
that's manipulation.
Online and just take small excerpts out of context, I could make you look like a misogynist. I guarantee it. In fact,
I don't think that you can. I think that that's an exaggeration, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous to say to her. And the fact that he's attacking her in the way that he is now, he sees that he caught her on one thing. Oh, I've got you. No, you don't got nothing, bro. You're just making yourself look more and more like the asshole that she's claiming you are. You're just making yourself look worse. And once again, why the fuck did you do this interview?
I might actually do that. And then you're going to sit here and say, oh shit, I'm a misogynist because my clips have been taken out of context. If you refuse to watch anything at length and understand it, then that's what's going to happen.
The National Police Chief's League for Violence Against Women, the NSPCC, Rape Crisis, Safer Schools, they are all naming you as being behind an epidemic of misogyny, even amongst primary school children.
The idea that I made primary school children misogynistic because I own a nice car. Is that your...
That is completely deflecting from the actual question. She's not claiming because you own a nice car that you are in some way helping misogyny become more prevalent in elementary school children. She's saying that the things that you are preaching and doing on a constant basis, like starting a webcam business where you have manipulated women through sex and through fake relationships, is causing the problem. You're just being disingenuous by sitting there and acting like she's saying it's because you have a nice car and a cigar. She's saying that's part of the trappings of what makes you valuable to these young men and makes them want to be you. That's what she's saying.
It's the misogyny that comes along with it.
Oh, owning a nice car is misogynist.
No, it's the misogyny that comes along with it.
How does misogyny come along with owning a nice car?
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're answering my questions now. We finally got the dynamic.
You have an image of financial
She's answering my
success.
questions, as she should.
Excuse me. You have an image of financial...
What did you just say?
with it.
How does misogyny come along with owning a nice car?
Because you have an image of financial
I'm glad you're answering my questions now. We finally got the dynamic.
You have an image of financial
She's answering my
success.
questions, as she should.
Excuse me.
She's answering my questions as she should. That's scary shit right there. Like I said, that's a dude that's used to pushing women around to the point that he goes, oh, now she's been beaten enough. Yeah, now she knows. She knows who's in charge now. Like, dude, you're just proving her point. You're a piece of shit, and we all know it. I said at the beginning of this that you all have to hope that he's innocent of this stuff because women not being sexually abused is a great thing, and if that can be proven that he didn't do these things, then that's great that these women did not get abused. But I don't think that in any way, shape, or form he's making the case that he didn't. In fact, he's just making the case stronger that he is manipulative, that he is an abuser. There's nothing in this interview so far that makes me feel like he has done anything but manipulate and abuse women and will continue to do so on live TV.
You have an image of financial success, but it comes along with attitudes towards women that are really problematic.
My attitudes towards women is that women should be protected and provided for, and I've said that at length. In fact, I've said that over 50 times online, you never mention it. I say that my girlfriend doesn't have to work unless she wants to, I take care of her, I die to protect a woman. I've talked about how I've stood up and faced a knife to protect a woman.
And in return, you want authority over her in the way...
And that's another form of manipulation. That is, you need me to protect you. I'm telling you that I'm willing to stand up and protect you. I'm willing to do all these things. I would do all of these things for you because you can't do them for yourself. So don't forget that. You're weak. You can't do this. You need me. So you need to go ahead and give me whatever I want. That's manipulation.
Way you have over a child or a dog.
Absolutely not. I've said that women should be protected and provided for. And
in return, you want authority over her, because if you have responsibility for someone like a child or a dog, you say, you have authority over them.
If you want to go down this argument, we'll go down this nuanced argument. I said that if I have responsibility for her safety, I should have a degree of authority over her safety. Meaning, and let me explain my point. If I'm the one who has to fight and die to protect her, I'm the one who decides how we walk home. I'm the one who decides the route we take. Because it's unfair for her to say, I want to walk through the most dangerous neighborhood in the world, but you have to face the knives. That's what I've said. And then you're going to sit here and pretend that I'm trying to...
What fucking fantasy world does this guy live in? Where women want to walk through ghettos where people are going to assault them? What fantasy world do you live in where you are the protector that has to keep women from making bad choices like walking through dangerous neighborhoods? That is the weirdest fucking argument I have ever heard in my life.
Treat women like dogs, which is garbage. Every single man in the world who loves this woman understands that he has to protect her. And every single woman in the world likes the idea of a man who would protect her. If you were to say to most women home right now, do you want your husband to protect you in a violent attack? They'd say, yeah, of course. Nothing I've said is misogynistic.
To most women, would you want to lose authority in the relationship, to not be treated as a free and legal equal to your...
I didn't say that. I said I need to have authority over the route we walk home.
When you compare women...
I just want to be able to say which way we should walk. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. Like, dude, that is so manipulative. You're making this a bigger deal than it actually is. All I'm saying is, I just don't want to walk down Crenshaw. That's not what you're saying, bro. It's fucking dishonest.
And the authority over women that you believe you should have, to having authority over a child or a dog, it's not the same, because a woman is a free, legal adult.
Correct.
You're equal.
Free, legal adult, my equal. But if I had a girlfriend, and we were walking home late at night, and I said, let's not walk down that area, it's a bad area, I have to protect you if anything happens, I want to take the long way. And she said, no, I have to walk this way, even though it's the most dangerous route, I must.
These people are infatuated with these strange fantasies about people breaking into their house and they use their gun to shoot the intruder. They're infatuated with being the dude that stands up and stops the assailants. Let me just go ahead and say this too. Andrew Tate is a world-class kickboxer. He knows better than anybody how to defend himself. That does not mean that if he is ever put in any situation that he can protect his girlfriend or wife. That just means he's a kickboxer. It doesn't mean shit when somebody tries to stab or shoot you. That's the dumbest fucking fantasy that any man has. Yes, if somebody attacks my wife, I will do everything in my power to murder that person. 100%. But the best thing I can do is not put my wife in those situations, and she won't put me in those situations either. But neither of us gets moral authority over the other because of that. That's just stupid. It's a trade-off. When you are in a relationship, it's a partnership. And each person has value in that relationship. And it doesn't even matter if you're in that relationship. You have intrinsic value just being a human being. No one deserves authority over you because you provide a service. That's stupid.
Then I would say you're welcome to. You could do it. You're a free and legal equal. But I'm not going to walk with you and protect you. I think that I should be able to decide the route. Because I have an obligation. And my obligation as a man is to protect and provide for females. Everything I'm talking about is traditional gender roles, which 10 years ago, less than 10 years ago, would not be considered outlandish, would not be considered crazy, would not be considered dangerous or misogynistic.
Everything that you say, I don't give a shit. We could go back 30 years, dude. All of it's scary. All of it's manipulative. This is ridiculous.
The world has changed, and a lot of people haven't changed with the world. Please understand there's a lot of women at home watching this right now who like the idea of their man sticking up for them, protecting them, and providing for them. And just because the world has gone crazy and the legacy media has gone crazy, most people at home are still relatively sane. And these are the people who are going to write on the comments that Andrew isn't saying anything that's outlandish.
It was from women this year. Change the camera. These are the traditional values that Antonio was reading.
It's the whole world believes these things.
This is such a strange interview.
I don't know why you're listening.
Look at him right now.
They come in, they smile, they shake their hands, and then they read one fucking line excerpts from Black Girl.
It's fine. It's fine.
It goes like that.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm having a nice conversation with you, so I'm enjoying it. So it's no problem. It's been fun so far.
He is creepy. He is so fucking creepy. Holy shit. Oh my god. Why do these people exist? Do not follow this man, young men. There are way better people out there. Fucking read some books. There's a lot of information in this world, and it should be used for much better purposes than buying Bugattis and manipulating women. That's ridiculous.
People around him, it's cultural.
It's fine. We good?
Yes.
Tell me when.
Do you want to clap again?
Yes, no. We didn't stop, no?
I can do the clap. Now we good?
No, thank you.
If a man broke into your house, wouldn't you want your husband to protect you?
There's a difference between conservative values and emotional control, coercive control.
We're
lack
talking
of
about
consent.
protection now, and I'm saying if someone broke into your house, would you want your husband to protect you?
It's not about conservative values or protection, it's what you're demanding in return for that.
Well, I'll give you this. I don't know who your husband is. I don't know if he would stand up to protect you or die for you, but I'll give you this. If someone broke into this house right now and was a homicidal maniac, I would expect me and the other men in this room to stand up and face them while you and the other women in this room could protect yourselves. I would actually believe the men should go and engage the attacker. I believe that. And even though I don't know you, and you've come into my house with a hostile agenda, and you've come here to try and make me look bad, I would still stand.
So that's textbook manipulation. That's, even though you're treating me poorly, I am such a good person that I would stand up for you no matter what. So this in some ways should make you feel as though you are the one who's fucking up, not me. I'm the one who's doing right here. Meanwhile, he has literally abused this woman in this conversation for going on 25 minutes. And when you do that for 25 minutes, being a good person for 30 seconds of the conversation does not conflate. You can't just say, oh, I was like a good person for this portion of time, so that makes everything else go away. There's lots of bad people that do good things. Human beings aren't black or white. You saying that you would defend this woman if she came in here doesn't, first of all, you haven't proven that you would, okay? Second, it doesn't prove that she owes you anything at all. Not even a handshake.
I would still stand up to protect you. I would still stand up to protect you because I believe that's my role as a man.
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organizations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I say.
It's not about whether you protect your partner or not. It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes.
That's not true.
Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction.
Once again, manipulation. You're wrong now, and you may not believe that, and that's okay, because I'm a good person. I'm going to let you know that I forgive you, because soon you're going to find out how good of a person I am, and then you're going to regret all the mean things you said to me. That's manipulation.
Of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs.
Do we have to watch the video again where he says, I sold drugs? Do I still have that queued up? Yeah, let's just watch that one more time, Andrew Tate.
Now, I can be honest and open about my past. I was a fighter, but fighting wasn't paying the bills, sold drugs, whatever. So I'm selling drugs. I didn't really like selling drugs. I didn't like the anxiety. I didn't like the idea of getting caught. I didn't like the violence, the stabbing. Someone tried to stab me. So when I was 24, 25, I sold drugs. Long time ago now. I can be honest and open about my...
Let's go back to the video. What was that? Let's hear that one more time. Jesus Christ.
And I believe that eventually when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you can
Okay, there's also a rap song with him and his brother. No fucking shit. He literally is like saying, I would do these things if I wanted to make money and harm the world. And he's literally done these things. This guy is a moron. How do people follow this dude? He also probably has CTE. I just want to say that. Maybe I'm just being mean right now. He might have CTE.
make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website
where
they pay
I could make
to
jokes.
learn how to be
Sure,
like you.
I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke
Are you
online.
saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you
and the
money.
reason
I'm sorry, we have agreed to do an interview where you are going to ask questions that are going to give us the opportunity to clarify some things. These are very loaded questions, and so far, I'm sorry, I have arranged this and I'm talking right now. So, these are very loaded questions, and this is not what we discussed, and this is not the conversation that we agreed to.
We were very
You're
clear that the
sitting
questions
there, you're sitting there,
our...
you're sitting there and just accusing, we're not here to face new allegations, this has all been discussed.
And this is, I'm assuming, his lawyer in the background. That is absolutely, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Well, your lawyer's there? Your lawyer's there and she's letting this happen? Jesus Christ. Get a new lawyer.
Answers have been provided, so if we could please move on from this side of the...
CTE is a bucket. That's a lot of football players have it. It's from repeated head trauma. And a lot of fighters have it. A lot of football players. There's this really, I think his name was Tate Young, Detroit Lions football player. And everybody couldn't figure out why he was doing crazy shit. Like, he just got drafted. He gotten a really good rookie contract. And he got his car impounded for some reason. He ended up like jumping the fence and trying to steal his car out of the impound yard. Now this is a person with millions of dollars. Could have clearly just paid to have his car taken out. And they realize after a while he's doing all this crazy shit. He's super depressed. He's got all these mental illness or mental health problems. And when he ends up taking his own life tragically. And when they studied his brain, he had severe signs of CTE. And this is the reason that they have all these concussion protocols in football and stuff. This is one of the reasons that sports like boxing and kickboxing are actually worse than MMA. Because in MMA, you don't get hit in the head as much. And when you do, you actually get knocked unconscious a lot. But in boxing and in kickboxing, you actually get hit in the head multiple times throughout every fight, sometimes hundreds of times, which leads to severe brain damage. That's why Herschel Walker is the way Herschel Walker is. I guarantee you Herschel Walker has CTE. I 100% believe that guys like Andrew Tate that just have these like crazy fantasy ideas about the conspiracies in the world have brain damage. And I think, like Andrew Tate's saying here, is one day we'll find that out. I believe that. Oh, look, a woman has come to his defense. Right? Because he paid her, Sherry. Because he paid her.
I would appreciate it.
I would like to hear what Andrew's got to say about the fact that when you make controversial statements, it attracts people to follow you. and then you direct them to your website where they pay you a monthly fee to learn how to be like you. And so the more controversial statements you make, the more...
And don't forget, he thinks you're all losers. There's literally text messages that say, all of you that pay money to watch his shit are a bunch of losers that'll never do the things he tells you to do, so he doesn't have to worry about losing his spot. Not my words, they're his.
more money you get.
The fact that that's the path you've outlined to one, my online university, and two, my presence on the internet, the fact that you believe that's the path just shows you've done absolutely zero research. Genuinely zero research.
Okay, so how...
Jesus Christ. He's Donald Trump. I'm going to start my own conspiracy theory that Donald Trump and Andrew Tate are the same person. I can't. There's like so many similarities.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media?
Genuinely zero research.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University come to you through your social media where you direct them to the website?
And Lucy, I encourage you to go out there, do some genuine research, watch my videos, of course, watch my videos at length, and truly understand what I'm doing.
How many of the people who sign up for Hustlers University at $49.99?
Dude, people are being mean to her, saying she didn't do a good job. I think this woman has the patience of a saint. Like, she is just like, I'm going to ask you one more time. Nope. I'll ask you again. Nope. Again. One more time. Okay. We're going to just keep doing this. Dude, she's doing a great job. He made a mistake.
$9 a month come to you because they see your social media comments.
There's an online school called Hustlers University, which I don't own. I influence for along.
Which he also talks about that he uses the webcam girls to launder his money in messages. I guarantee he probably uses the Hustler University for that too. The dude has literally text messaged that he's done illegal shit to people that he knows to manipulate these women. Like, how fucking dumb can you be in 2023? You know that you're going to be held. I mean, I know that's why he moved to Romania, because they're looser on all this stuff. But still, you have put so much evidence all over the internet, including this interview, of the fact that you're a terrible fucking human being.
With many other influencers, and they sign up for your website, which I don't own. And once again, that's nothing to do with me.
It's probably in his mom's name.
And you're going to sit here and say that I made a joke.
You were the
I made a joke online 4 years ago because a woman said that she owned her man's car, and you made a joke, and that means that you, because you have a Bugatti, are the most misogynistic, dangerous man in the world. This is going down a path of absolute insanity. It's not true. None of this is true. I don't hurt people. I don't harm people. I'm genuinely a positive influence.
You are renowned.
I'm renowned
for offensive and controversial.
That's not why I'm renowned. I'm actually renowned. I'm actually renowned for helping young men, because we talk about there's a men's mental health crisis, and we talk about we pretend to care that men are upset. But as soon as I discuss men's issues, it's misogynistic. It doesn't have to be gendered. Just because I believe men have a point of view and men have rights and men are allowed to think and believe and act a certain way that helps them internally, that doesn't mean it's anti-female. In fact,
going back to it, this is red pill shit. Yes, there is a men's mental health issue. There has been for a long time. We have all had a problem with suppressing our feelings and not talking about things. But this is not what your business is built on. She's right. Your business is built upon just saying crazy shit. No one would know who Andrew Tate was if he didn't say a bunch of crazy shit. He can't admit that, and that's understandable because that's his business model, right? But you have to actually understand that, yes, positivity doesn't sell. I know this. You try to go out and you try to do good things and you try to say good, speak well of people. It doesn't sell. If it bleeds, it leads world. And this dude knew that. That's why he did the dumb shit that he did, because he knew it would make him famous. He knew there's a good chance he's going to make a bunch of fucking money off of it. He knew it sold. Self-made delusions. Narcissist believes in stuff. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I just had a conversation with somebody about Trump where we were talking about his point of view on the conversation was that Donald Trump believes everything he says, and that's just a strange thing to me, that he can't wrap his mind around the fact that he's lying because he doesn't want people to know about something. Like, he's just lying because he does that to cover up things naturally. It's a really strange, mindset. I can't get into that where you would be even capable of saying things that you know are completely dishonest, but at the same time not acknowledging that they're completely dishonest. That is severe mental illness.
I believe it's actually pro-female. I think when a man is true to his influence and true to his essence, and he's good within himself, he's a positive influence in the world, and he's positive for the women around him.
So
just because I discuss men's
women...
issues, people say, oh, you're anti-woman. I'm not anti-woman, I love women.
Why is...
Once again, no, that's not why they say you're anti-woman. The basis and foundation of the Red Pill movement is a good fucking foundation. It's be a good dude. Treat yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. You should treat yourself and your career as being important. You should work out and keep your mental and physical health in peak conditions. Nothing is wrong with any of that. It's the side of misogyny that is the problem. It is that you are putting yourself constantly in a place to have leverage over women. If you are ever entering a relationship with the idea that you need to have leverage over your partner so that way you can in some way control them, that is a relationship that is going to end poorly. And that's probably why so many of these relationships do end poorly. You don't need leverage. You need to provide. You need to come with an ability to use your resources to help where they bring their resources, and together you will be successful. That's what you should be doing, not finding leverage over your partner.
So many women saying that when their boyfriends start following you,
They're not.
they experience more control.
So many.
They experience
How many?
more abuse.
How many?
Enough.
Oh, now he wants specifics. The man that was talking about all the people in the comments that support him, the thousands of supporters. Now you want statistics? I'm actually with him. I think she should provide numbers. But at this point in the conversation, you're just being dishonest if you're asking for statistics, because you have not done it once.
Enough.
Well,
this is the first time I've heard of it. So, in fact...
One is too many.
Of course,
One
yeah.
is too many.
So, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't
the fact...
it worry you?
Dude, if I was her, dude, hit him with a how many? Hit him with a how many?
Praising the fact that their sons are listening to me.
Does it not
Praising
worry
the
you?
fact that their
The
husbands
things I'm
listen to me.
saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
You're
worry.
not concerned about
it.
your
Would.
influence.
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world. You have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is
I'm
not
not
the same man she wants him to be,
presenting
when thousands and thousands of people.
See, and this is narcissism, because he's equating the fact that he's popular with being right. This is totally what Donald Trump does. All of these people like me, so I must be doing something correct. That's not the truth. Unfortunately, like what I was just saying a minute ago, people really gravitate towards drama, and they gravitate towards people that are outspoken and mean, because that's really what it's interesting. It's why we have reality TV. It's why we watch shows like Jerry Springer. It's why things like the WWE are huge. It's because people gravitate towards that stuff. Being popular does not make you right, in the same way that being successful or rich doesn't make you intelligent. Those things do not have to conflate. That is not always a parallel thought process. You can't always say that somebody that is rich is intelligent, and you can't always say somebody that poor is dumb. The same thing goes for this. Just because you're popular doesn't mean you're right, and just because you're right doesn't mean you'll be popular.
People are saying the opposite. Well, then I would say
I
that's...
presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda. You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand are satirical, and then you're going to also sit and say...
What kind of questions would an interviewer have when interviewing a person that is currently being put on trial for assault and trafficking? What questions did he think she was going to come with? This guy is insane. And a narcissist. No, you must be right, Michelle. He must be a narcissist. Because a narcissist would believe that this person's coming to interview them because they just can't help but want to talk to him. That's the only thing that you could possibly... I don't know. That's the only way I can wrap my mind around it. I don't understand him.
Say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos, and then I don't know what you expect me to say to that. That's
sarcastic and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain the comments you made.
No, for you to sit down.
Would you like to apologise for any of them?
For you to sit down. For you to sit down.
Please don't sound like this. We're gonna have to.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy.
That was a Trump moment if I ever saw one. Would you like to apologize for anything that you said? And he scoffs and laughs. That is 100% a Trump moment. That's like when he was asked in the town hall about that shit with E. Jean Carroll, and all those fucking pathetic human beings laughed and clapped at his fucking shitty story. Like, that is just such a sad thing to see in a human being. It really is. It makes me sad for humanity that this person exists. Men like him and Trump are so insecure in their relationship and require so much reassurance, it's kind of ironic. Yeah, because the people that claim that they're the most confident end up being the most insecure. You don't need to tell people you're confident. They just know.
For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes, or whatever your argument is, and that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car, is just disingenuous. And I'm enjoying this interview very much because this shows.
Are you?
This shows the world. It's great. It shows the world the truth about the legacy media because they beg me for interviews. They beg me. You have been begging me for months. Please, we need to be relevant. And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good, positive influence for the world.
Dude, look at her. Hold on. Look at that head shake. Look at that head shake. Fuck, I love that. This woman deserves an award. Someone give this woman a medal.
And then you come here with loaded questions trying to paint a picture of me, which is completely and utterly false. I am a good, positive influence for the world. The things I teach men are stoicism, discipline, self-respect, hard work, obeying authority, listening.
Sell drugs, make cam websites.
To your fight coach, working hard in school, making as much money as possible in your job. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this, but you don't watch any of it, and then you come here and ask me to answer questions I've answered at length thousands of times.
Since you came out of custody, there seems to have been a lot about your charity work.
Correct.
On your social media.
I've always done the charity work, but now I'm promoting it.
There seems to be a real shift.
Yeah.
Damn, he straight up admitted it. Holy shit, bro. He's like, yes, you are right. Ever since I did this bad shit, I am doing damage control by posting about my charitable events that I host. Like, come on, man.
I wonder what's behind that.
Well, I've always done the charity work. I've been doing the charity work for years. I believe that it's my legacy to leave a positive influence on the world, and I've been doing charity work for over 5 years. Post my incarceration, my unfair, unjust incarceration, may I add. Post that, I've made it more clear the charity work I'm doing.
Trump, that was a Trump moment. Might I say also that I was not guilty, my unfair witch hunt.
But this is, once again, very interesting. I spend $25 million a year feeding children. Men, male children, and female children. In Turkey, in Syria, in Iran, and Iraq.
$25 million a year? I'm going to need to see receipts. I'm definitely going to need to see receipts on that. And is all you're allowed this? Yeah. Dude, I don't understand, Bucket. Someone's got to help me out. Someone's got to provide me with some logic as to why you would do this video interview. I don't understand it.
I literally spend $25 million a year feeding children, and I'm still the worst man in the world because 4 years ago I made a sarcastic comment?
Because some people would look at that and say, okay, so before you got money from attracting people to your website by making controversial comments, but that might have got you into trouble, and so now you're looking for a new market. You're looking for a new market of followers who are attracted by a different sort of persona.
I've always done the charity work, so that is obviously incorrect, and I have proof that I've always done the charity work, so...
Yeah, but no, you're avoiding the question. What she's saying is you've never sold yourself as being this person. You've always sold yourself as being a controversial figure, and she's saying that you are now selling yourself as this charitable individual because everybody can fucking tell that right now, I mean, God, you did this interview, I don't know why, but you would think that you would want to sell yourself as being a charitable individual right now. I don't understand. He's got to be just being dishonest.
You're wrong, firstly. I believe that if you have a lot of wealth, you
Fucking
should help
Trump.
people, and I'm helping people. I also think it's very, very interesting that you could not find another celebrity in the UK or anywhere else who's spending 25 million pounds a year feeding children in war-torn countries. I'm doing that, and I've been doing that for a long time without even mentioning it. I never even said it. And now that I've said it, people are going to attack me for it and say that it's disingenuous.
Just to finish.
But even if he is, even if you can give me receipts that he's spending $25 million a year to feed children, human beings are not black or white. It does not mean that you're a good person that you did that. It means that you did something that was good. If the majority of the things that you do are bad, and then you do one good thing or two good things, the majority of the things that you did are still bad. It doesn't make up for those things. It's just like if you're a really good person and then you make a mistake. If you're an incredibly good person that is charitable, that has done everything they could to uplift people, and you make a racist joke, you're still a good person. I know people are going to disagree with that, but in my opinion, you're still a good person. If you get in a physical confrontation with another person, but everything in your life has been about pacifism, that doesn't mean that you're no longer a pacifist. It means that you had a moment where you made a mistake and that you still can come back and do something about that. But if the majority of the things that you do are bad, like manipulating women, like teaching young men things that are not going to make them successful and grifting off of them and taking money, and then the one thing you do is you feed children in these war-torn countries, that's great, but first of all, I'm questioning your motives. Also, it doesn't make you a good person. I'm sorry, but that's not the truth.
The person in Sudan who's eating the meal, do you think they believe it's disingenuous? No, I think they feel pretty good that Andrew Tate fed them. And to sit here and say that I'm a bad person...
That's manipulation. Providing stuff to people to make sure that they have a positive outlook on you, especially when doing bad things, is a form of manipulation.
Now because I'm manipulating charity... Because I'm using charity. I'm just trying to do good in the world. That's all I've ever been trying to do.
When women speak out against you online, disagree with what you say, they describe being bombarded with rape threats, with death threats, trolling by your followers. Would you like to say anything to your followers about how to behave in that situation?
Absolutely, correct. I would love to do that. First things first, I've yet to see a female stand up and argue with me online. I don't ever see hardly any.
What the fuck, bro? Just say yes. I'd like to say that that's ridiculous, and those people should never do anything like that ever to any woman or any person. It's that easy. That's how you started? It's fucking sad.
Only women who message me agree with it. Secondly, I don't think that anybody who disagrees with me, male or female, should be trolled. I don't think they should be insulted or attacked. I think the idea should be discussed openly and fairly and maturely. It doesn't matter if a man agrees with me or disagrees with me, or a female. I don't think my followers should come along and attack her, and if my followers are doing that, I'm upset by that. But, let's make a very important clarification. That's not my followers. That's the internet. If you're
No, they are your followers, dude. You see, this is the fucking weird thing that people do on this. Whether it's Destiny or the Red Pill people, or I don't care, pull them from whatever section of the internet that you want to. Yes, those people that follow you, you do have some kind of supervisor role, right? Like, if someone comes out and does something like that, you need to 100% disavow their actions. You need to say, I would never stand for that. I do not accept that. That person is not somebody that I agree with. That's somebody that, if they are following me, should not follow me. And my personal point of view, with my small amount of followers that I have, and it's much easier to wrangle, is that if anybody in my chat were to say something racist, say something homophobic, were to attack people, to say that women should be assaulted, any of those things, I will block you 100%. I literally did that to a dude that was in my comments that wasn't a follower of mine, but he was just there to talk, and he started getting to a point where I felt he was being just vitriolic and mean, and he was attacking people. And I blocked him, because that's what you're supposed to do. Because money's not worth sacrificing other people's security. It's not. It's not. I don't know what else to say to that.
To log into any video game lobby, I don't play video games, and someone were to sit there and say something stupid, they would be trolled with similar comments. That's the unfortunate reality of the internet as a whole. That's nothing to do with me.
No. That does not equate. No.
But I encourage all of my followers to engage in open discourse and be fair and honest and talk in a way which is mature. There's no need to troll anybody, male or female.
Okay.
Kathy, anything?
You like how he has to always qualify it by saying male or female? Because he's so aware of his own rhetoric that he knows that everybody thinks he's just talking about women. Like he has to, after every one of these comments, say male or female. He has to specify that he means both genders. Because he said so much shit against women that people assume he's talking about women. That's not a good thing. You're a bad person. Say witch hunt? Dude, you know he says witch hunt. You know it's in his vocabulary.
A couple things. I wonder if it would be worth giving Andrew one more opportunity to consider whether or not he would like to apologise or...
They're like literally talking about this dude in front of him. This is hilarious. He's like sitting there and she's like, what I would like you to do for Andrew. Dude, he's such an alpha male, he has handlers. That's so alpha, bro.
Give
Fuck.
An indication of how he feels about the allegations that he has negatively influenced young people in the UK. And secondly, I think we should put on record that this interview is taking place in your house because you're under house arrest. If it were not for that, then we would have chosen another location, I'm sure. We would have negotiated that between us. So I think that's just worth putting on record.
Okay. So just to put on the record then, you've said that you've invited us into your house.
Correct.
We're here because you're under house arrest.
Correct.
If you were free to leave, we would have negotiated a more neutral setting.
Don't you think, as the BBC, it would be very interesting to come here and discuss the fact that I was put in a dungeon for 92 days and then locked in house arrest without charge? Don't you think that's a far more interesting conversation than old YouTube snippets? Don't you think that would be interesting?
You're here under house arrest because there's an ongoing investigation into rape and human trafficking allegations against you.
Correct.
Fucking spot on.
I've been incarcerated without charge. And don't you think
the rape allegation
it's been dropped?
Has been incarcerated for.
Correct. So I'm incarcerated without charge, and I think that would be a far more interesting conversation than I guess Julian Assange is incarcerated without charge, and nobody's interested in that either. So if you act,
That's dumb, dude. Like, Julian Assange has been covered ad nauseum. Yes, maybe not by the mainstream media, but then, I don't know. Why did you invite the BBC, bro? Why? Invite Aiden Ross. He's your boy. He'll come there and sniff your ass and tickle your butthole with a feather and make you look good and talk about how the world's against you and how women are mean and evil and they demonize you and all this shit. And you two could have just jerked off together. But no, you invited the BBC. You got your ass handed to you. This woman did a good job. She did her job. And you're a moron.
actually wanted to do some genuine journalism and investigation, we could talk about the fact that an innocent man who is yet to be charged with a crime has had his liberty deprived of him. And I think that would be a far more interesting angle than talking about me being the most dangerous man in the world because I own a car.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And this question.
There's manipulation for you. Everything that you said to me up to this point really doesn't mean anything. It's all condensed down to one comment where you said that I'm the most dangerous person in the world and I own a Bugatti. That's manipulation. Like literally taking everything that this woman has said throughout this interview, condensing it down to those two comments that you were offended by because you're an insecure beta male.
Question about schools being very worried about your influence.
Yeah.
Boys in primary school, or boys as young as 11, are quoting you at school,
Yeah.
attacking girls, refusing to respect female teachers.
Yeah.
Would you like to say anything about that?
I'd like to say a lot. First things first, as I've repeatedly said, and the only reason I keep repeating it is because I'm sure this interview will be edited. I am a positive force for the world, and I teach children discipline. I teach the world discipline, male or female, of any age, and a lot of women listen to me as well.
Once again, I must qualify that I'm talking about both genders because most of the time when I'm talking positively, I talk about men, but when I'm talking negatively, I'm talking about women. His very verbiage, the way that he talks is in a way a confession. Like, this guy should not be allowed on camera. Whoever is in charge of his social media presence, his agent, whatever the fuck it is, should never let this man on another media site's interview ever again. Ever again. Even if he's found innocent, don't let this man ever have another interview because he's just fucking himself.
Well, 40% of the people who listen to me are actually female. Secondly, I do understand with my massive influence, and I am now the one of the most influential people on the planet, that I do have to be slightly more careful with things I say. I'm not going to disagree with that. The idea.
Holy shit, we had a breakthrough, folks. We had a breakthrough. Now, will he ruin it in the next 5 seconds is the question. My money is on he's about to ruin it.
That I said something 5 years ago on a video that got 300 views.
So what do you mean, being slightly more careful?
I'll give you an example. Some of the jokes I made 4 or 5 years ago on a YouTube channel that got 300 views.
Dude. Look, there's a lot to be said about using people's old comments in cancel culture. There's a lot to be said about some sensitivities over certain words being used or humor. That can be debated. But it's not 4 or 5 years ago. You've consistently said these things for a large period of time. Saying something once in a tweet can be explained away. Making a joke out of context or having a quote taken out of context or a joke taken out of context can be explained away. But a body of work that provides examples of the very thing that you're being charged with, this isn't about 4 or 5 years ago. This is about today. And it is about who you are today. You did that shit. You did that shit.
Views. I would no longer make...
Like what?
Like the OnlyFans joke. The one you mentioned repeatedly. When she said, my man's car is my car. And then she said she did OnlyFans. And I said, what do you saw on OnlyFans? She said, my tits. And I said, well, those are your man's tits. As a joke, ha ha ha. Everybody laughed. The fact that I could do that on a podcast 5 years ago and only got 300 views, now I understand I'm the most influential man on the face of the planet. I would be more careful with certain things I say. That doesn't mean the things I originally said were genuinely out to harm people.
Do you really believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled person on the planet.
Do you believe you're the most influential man on the face of the planet?
I'm the most Googled man on the planet.
That does not mean you're the most that once again, that's a peek into his mindset. He thinks because he's the most Google person on, and I don't know if that's, once again, I need to see receipts, but let's hypothetically say he's the most Google person on earth. That doesn't make you the most influential person. That makes you interesting, maybe even the most interesting person. But part of the reason that people are Googling you is because you're on trial for human trafficking and for abuse and assault. Like, that's one of the reasons that you're the most Googled person on earth right now, bro. Like, that's not a good thing. That doesn't make you influential.
I think we're done.
Yep. Good job. Fucking look at him.
Thanks,
Holy
Lucy.
shit.
It was enjoyable.
He is,
Nice to meet you.
Look at that leg go, bro. Oh, man.
No, it was fun. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Fuck, this is so cringe.
De-mic me. I don't want to damage anything. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. Well, all right.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
I had watched part of this video already. I hadn't watched the full video. That's the most cringe ending to a video I've ever seen before. He is a strange, strange human being. Oh, man. You know, I think I've had enough Andrew Tate for tonight. I don't know that I can go into this. This is just more cringy shit that he said in his life. And he said there was 300 views on that. This is some other dude's fucking channel that has 1.5k views on it. 300 views, my ass, dude. His choice in words, copy of Trump's playbook. 100% he is. He actually thought this was going to go his way. He was not correct. And I've seen so many comments from people. Obviously, they're Andrew Tate dick suckers. They think that he did so well in that. I don't understand people's mentality, and it's why I'm so fascinated by cults. It's why I'm so fascinated by the QAnon movement, is that there's all of these people that even with the most like prolific, overwhelming evidence that a person has done or is a certain type of person, they will still follow that person. And it is insane to me. I don't understand it. But I thank you all. I appreciate you all. My chat is the best chat, first of all. I don't ever have to worry about being on trial for any kind of issues that this man is facing. But if I did, I can tell you this right now. The one thing I wouldn't have to deal with is answering questions about my chat assaulting people. You know what? We keep it small. We keep it quality. I like it that way. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm always happy to educate myself to all these subjects. I want to know what I'm talking about when I talk to people about things, and this is how I do it. So if you're new and you want to hit the subscribe button, I do this every Wednesday at 6. I look at a variety of issues. I try to highlight good people too. But if you like the show, hit subscribe, hit like. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.